I'll tell you what. I know this doesn't come as a surprise, but have the Democrats lost their damn minds? And if they did, when did it happen? I still have been talking about this for 4 years because I'm trying to pinpoint a specific moment in time of when they went full unhinged. There's a story that we're going to get to today that talks about basically Democrats sacrificing themselves. And it's real. It's not one of those things where it's fake or I'm leading you on or I'm embellishing it. I don't know what these people are thinking. And the one thing I can attach most of this to, like if I was to try to pinpoint something here for you to make sense of all this, is you know how they've been doing these whole staging events? Somebody said 2008. Like John was so quick with it, it was insane. John, settle down, John. Good morning to you, sir. That was very quick. Holy crap. Everyone's saying Obama's era. Yeah, I agree with that. But I need a date. I need some event that happened, though. I don't want none of this. Well, a decade happened ago. I need something big. But they're staging these events for like photo ops. And when you're watching them walk down the street or, they're on the house floor on their hands and knees, like the photo op that we saw with Hakeem Jeffries, like screaming, just like staging themselves for these pictures, kind of like we saw with AOC, the one that we showed last week, the old one where she's out in the middle of a parking lot at the border and, staging these photo events. It's like they're trying to grab a hold of that civil rights movement or to grab that, like, let's just keep trying all these different photo options to where we can get that picture with the flower in the barrel of the gun for peace, not war, those types of things. And it's so cringy. It's so hard to watch these idiots act like this because it's not how adults act. Look, I act like an idiot, but I am an idiot. There's a difference. If you want to parade around as an idiot, it's okay to act like one because then nobody's going to be surprised. But then if you are going to parade around as if you're not an idiot, then you don't really get to act like an idiot, if that makes sense. Brad, I'm having trouble getting Brad on YouTube. We're live. I don't know. YouTube seems to be working. I have no idea. Well, this is what I mean. Let me kind of zoom in on this article for you all real quick. Here we go. Let me see if that works. Let me make myself a little bit tinier. You don't need to see my big dome. All right, so here we have Hakeem Jeffries roasted for obviously photoshopped Instagram post, which is absolutely hilarious because if you recall, Karine Jean-Pierre, less than a year ago, said that we were all fabricating cheap fakes, deep fakes. And as I've always mentioned, whatever the Democrats say that we're doing, you could almost be sure that it's actually them who are the ones that are doing it. So we have here House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is back in the news this week, but he probably wishes he wasn't. The New York Democrat, of course he's from New York, on Sunday posted a photo of himself leaning against a park bench in Brooklyn with the caption, "Home sweet home." The problem, the photo was obviously edited, as evidenced by the fact that the area around Jeffries' legs was warped, as was behind the bench. This right here. Now, that doesn't mean it's all fake, right? But it's as if this looks like it's called the liquify tool in Photoshop. Like, Brad, how do you know that? Well, in high school, I was certified for Photoshop and almost certified for Final Cut Pro. So I was in a class for this, for specifically to learn how to use Photoshop. So this is, and obviously I use Photoshop for my thumbnails here, so I have to use it. So I'm pretty sure they liquefied this, or this thing is really bent. One or the other. So his followers quickly commented on how bad the photoshopping job was, speculating on whether he was trying to make himself look slimmer or taller, which you tend to do with the liquefy tool. It liquefies you and it warps it. Yes, this is real. Hakeem Jeffries photoshopped himself so hard he bent the bench. I mean, it's definitely odd, but this is what they do. They fabricate photos. And this is just a little bit of what I'm referring to. Jeffries posted the picture upon his return home from his record-breaking 8-hour and 45-minute speech in the House floor in which he attempted to delay the vote. So here's another photo of him. Just, it's so cringy, man. I don't know why, but it just looks so freaking weird to me. Now, there's the other photo I want to show you, and I don't have it queued up, so you need to give me a moment to pull it up for you. Where he's on the House floor, and I want to see if I can even find it. And he's screaming. Here it is. He's screaming. Hakeem Jeffries actually did this on the House floor. And you remember how I was saying right at the beginning of the show, it almost seems as if, again, they're trying to capture some like historic moment, but they're just acting like idiots, as if like we're in like some crazy oppression, like we just fought off some sort of communist government. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like the civil rights movement, even though it's funny because the Democrats went against the civil rights. It's theater, man. This is all this is theater. It's a joke. It's not even scripted theater. I don't know what the hell this is, but they're just acting like. Do you see Republicans acting like Maxine Waters? I mean, maybe like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you'd have a case, right? She kind of acts silly, or like Burnham or whatever, or Boebert rather. Like you have certain ones, like I think Matt Gaetz was also a character, but he's no longer there. But I mean, you have a lot of Democrats that are just weird as hell. Hakeem Jeffries, AOC's gone. Nancy Pelosi's off her rocker. Chuck Schumer's been around forever. He's weird as hell. The guy's creepy. Adam Schiff is like, Adam Schiff is the ultimate villain in any sort of villain movie. I mean, the list really does keep going. You have the monster, the you know, that lady with the purple hair that we were all freaked out with during that Trump address to Congress. The Crip, I don't know what the hell you call her. She's freaky deaky. But it's something that crossed my mind this morning as I was preparing for the show, because I like to see what's kind of breaking. And it's just so odd and weird. And you got this guy. Who's this guy with the hair plugs? What's his name again? You guys will know what I'm talking about. What's this guy's name again? Raskin, I think it is. This guy's weird. I mean, do you guys ever look? You remember how Congress is supposed to represent us? And I say remember because they don't really represent us anymore. They kind of just do whatever the fuck they want. Sorry for cussing already. Jesus, we're only 12 minutes in. Forgive me. You know what it is? Every time I cuss, we should have to donate like $10. And not me. I'm talking about you guys. And the reason why you would think, well, Brad, then you're just going to cuss all the time. Yeah, but I also like feel bad if somebody's paying because I'm cussing. Does that make sense? I'm joking. We're not going to do that, but it would be funny. I lost my train of thought now. Oh, do you ever just look at Congress and go, these people, they don't act like normal people. Do you all get what I'm like? Can you imagine yourself with the majority of those people in Congress just having a hot dog with, or like a burger and a beer? Do you know what I mean? And just shooting the shit with them. Like, for example, I can imagine myself legitimately hanging out with any one of you on any day of the week and having a beer or a burger or like a sandwich or something like that and just hanging out with you. Because you're just average Americans, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of somebody in Congress, and I'm sure there is one, I'm just tired, I can't think, that I could sit down with and just have a cold brewski. Like, obviously Trump's a shoo-in. JD's another one. But those are all relatively new people in Congress. I'm talking like the old Crips, like Nancy Pelosi. You know, can you imagine Maxine Waters? Jesus. Well, here's another one with Democrats you guys are going to get a kick out of. These articles just blow my mind, man. And as I said, it's all theater. And I can imagine it happening. So here we go. Democrats demand blood, storming of White House to resist Trump. I'm going to read that again because we are always hit with J6, January 6th. It's like, yeah, like years ago, buddy, years ago. It's like me now saying at this point, World War II. We have here, Democrat voters are demanding that their representatives prepare for violence. I thought they were the party of peace, the party of inclusivity, the party of bringing everybody together. Remember when Joe Biden said you need to tone down your rhetoric? Democrat voters are demanding that their representatives prepare for violence to protect democracy from President Donald Trump, saying that there needs to be blood to get the public's attention, according to a news report. Axios reported Monday that Democrat lawmakers are being told by their supporters that they are not doing enough to combat Trump and that they should support violent forms of political agitation. House lawmakers told the outlet that they have heard calls to storm the White House and be prepared to get shot. I'm going to let y'all marinate on that one a little bit. This is a wild story. One House Democrat said some supporters have suggested that what they really need to do is be willing to get shot during visits to ICE detention centers. This is, I firmly do believe that this is not, I 100% think this is real. The reason why is watching these Democrats trying to stage these events where they're getting arrested constantly. All of a sudden, you go 4 years with Joe and you don't see like a single Democrat representative get arrested for anything. And then all of a sudden they start like showing up at these events, trying to storm a podium or trying to storm into a detention center. And all of a sudden they're all getting arrested, right? Because they're like Greta Thunberg's left and right now, right? They're for the people. They're martyrs. They're trying to get arrested for something that everybody in America wants to happen, meaning deportations. Quote, our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not enough, that there needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public. Are Democrats not aware that their base, the ones that are left, are out of their damn minds? Democrats, the Democrat Party today is not the Democrat Party of, hell, 2008 Barack Obama's party. They're so far left that they're now calling for violence. Well, it's typical, right? We're a threat to democracy. We're a threat to the Constitution. One lawmaker suggested that the calls for them to be arrested or victims of violence were racially insensitive. Quote, what I have seen is a demand that we ourselves get arrested intentionally or allow ourselves to be victims of violence. And a lot of times that's coming from economically very secure white people, the lawmaker said. The expectations aren't just unreal, they are dangerous. Yeah, gee, really, you think it's dangerous to say, you need to go get shot for what you believe in? We're not in war, as far as I'm aware. And we're in an ideological war. The calls come as some lawmakers have been arrested or detained while agitating against immigration enforcement. The incidents range from California Senator Alex Padilla. He's a nut job for my state. There's another one that you can't have a beer with. The guy's weird. Being briefly detained after he interrupted a press conference. Because that's a normal thing to do as an adult, is just to run into the room screaming. Sounds very, very childish in my opinion. Another lawmaker told Axios that people online have sent me crazy bleep, told me to storm the White House and stuff like that, while a different one told that civility isn't working and that Democrats need to be ready for violence to fight to protect our democracy. After doing this for over 4 years now, going viral on TikTok, sometimes going viral on YouTube, you really get to see a side of society that you normally would never probably see in your life. And what I mean by that is, before technology, you were kind of limited in scope to seeing the entire world, or hell, seeing somebody from another state on a constant basis, right? You're kind of limited to your town, the newspaper, the local newspaper, or whoever was coming in as a visitor from town to kind of hear what's going on with the news. Now, you just get people from all around the world that are just complete idiots. People are really, really dumb, you guys. Like you got to understand, people are really, really dumb. And like, I'm not saying I'm exactly a mensch myself, but you get what I'm saying. And you realize that there's a lot of people that have no business being on social media. Like they're not able to handle it. They're actually crazy, and they are a harm to other people. And I really, really do mean that. There's people I think if you throw a death threat at somebody, you should be looking at prison time. The amount of death threats people get and nothing is happening is insane to me. And that's why you see people get swatted. That's why you have people going on the internet saying whatever the hell they want. And they have every right to do so. But actually calling for the lives of some people to be ended. There are people that are currently taking pictures of conservatives and Republican influencers' houses, license plates, harassing their families, posting it all online, asking for somebody to do something. It is crazy what you're seeing. And the fact that nothing is happening to any of these people and they get away with it blows my mind. And here's the messed up thing, is that person or people that are posting people's information online, and this has nothing to do with me, by the way, well, sort of, in the sense of people have threatened my life, but in terms of information posting, not yet, at least, is that you are going to get some sort of zealous idiot nut job that's going to see that information online, and the person that posted it's not going to do anything about it, but you're going to see some dude that's just ramped up, asking for this type of stuff that we see in this article, showing up to a conservative Republican's house, and because they're an idiot and they don't realize that we're all Second Amendment advocates hardcore, you're going to get your fucking head blown off. And you just ended your life, not the conservative's life. You ended your life. And by the way, then the family of that nut job that showed up and tried to attack the conservatives is going to sue the conservatives' family. So now they're in a lawsuit. And then, because it's going to go public because they're an influencer, they lost their job, their lives ruined. And now their whole family's drug into this mess because that nut job posted their information online that caused another nut job to show up to the house, and which caused that conservative to fend for himself and his family by blowing the head off that one idiot that wanted to show up at the house. But now you're the one that's getting sued because that's the way these Democrat left-leaning states work, because there are a bunch of nut jobs there as well. So because you have everybody running the penitentiary, basically the inmates, the insane people running the insane asylum, this is the stuff that you get. And if you think that's out of the realm of possibility, I don't know what to tell you, because it's possible. One lawmaker said that the calls for action were getting out of control. It's like the Roman Colosseum. People just want more and more of this spectacle. Well, you're giving it to them. Like we saw with that King Jeffries photo or all these photo ops, you're definitely giving it to them. Maxine Waters says, go out and go after conservatives. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Multiple lawmakers said that their supporters expressed frustration about them following traditional norms. We've got people who are desperately wanting us to do something. No matter what we say, they want more. The article was published just hours before a gunman was deleted in Texas after he opened fire on multiple Border Patrol agents, which we'll get to in one moment. The administration said the attack was an ambush targeted at federal agents. And we knew this was coming. We knew that it was going to happen, that federal agents were going to start being targeted, that with the representation you're seeing from the Democrats over there in California to all across the country that this was only a matter of time before somebody opened fire on Border Patrol agents, federal agents, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened like quicker. I'm surprised with all the riots that there wasn't more people trying to delete a Border Patrol agent. So here's that article. You have here a man ambushed and opened fire on Border Patrol agents in McAllen, Texas on Monday before he was deleted by local police and federal agents who returned fire. The Department of Homeland Security told Fox News that the shooter, armed with a rifle and tactical gear, attacked agents at the entrance of a Border Patrol facility. And I think you might see more and more of this happening over the next 3.5 years. But hey, you know what? You F around, what happens, folks? You find out and you get your ass deleted. The shooting appeared to be a purposeful ambush/attack against federal agents. 2 police officers were injured, including one who was shot in the knee and a Border Patrol agent employee who was also wounded, which is just terrible. This morning, an individual opened fire at the entrance of the United States Border Patrol sector. Both Border Patrol agents and local police helped neutralize the shooter. This is an ongoing investigation led by the FBI. More information will be shared as it becomes available. The shooter, who was not identified, was reported missing on Monday morning, according to the police chief. The New York Times reported authorities found other weapons in the shooter's vehicle, which had been spray painted with a message that law enforcement was trying to decipher. Authorities are expected to hold a press conference addressing the shooter late Monday. So there you have it. Which is, like I said, I'm surprised this hasn't happened more often, and I think it will. I really do. And speaking of agitating, speaking of rhetoric, speaking of grandstanding, this nut job here, she's an idiot. God, she's so dumb. I can't emphasize how bad she is at her job, but it goes with my theory. And by the way, my theory has been proven time and time again. And I suppose it's no longer a theory anymore if it's been proven, right? There's kind of that old saying, you can never prove a theory true, because then it would no longer be a theory. I think it would be a law, right? Well, some of you are like, well, what's the theory? I'm new here. I don't know what you're talking about. There is this phenomena in the Democrat Party, and I promise you, you'll realize, you'll be like, no, I think he has a point. The guy has a really good point. There's this theory that I have that in the Democrat Party, if you are trash, garbage, you suck at your job, you're terrible at it, that you'll be elevated to the highest levels of office in that party. I don't know what it is. It's the craziest thing to me that the ones that are the worst at their jobs are the ones that constantly get put in office. Nancy Pelosi, Barbara Boxer, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Chuck Schumer, Gavin Newsom, this psycho, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Johnson over there in Chicago. Like, I mean, the fact that I can pull these names and actually call them out and tell you who they are speaks volumes. Raskin. Who's that new one? That one with the eyelashes that you all said had a lazy eye. Crockett. Jasmine Crockett's a new one. It's crazy how you could just rattle off all these psycho names, where for us, the ones that you would be able to be like, all right, like what would be comparable? Marjorie Taylor Greene on our side. Maybe Boebert or Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz. Those are like the 3 that I can just really think of. Other than that, there's no like ongoing psychos. You're kind of like, yeah, that's an old guy. I could see him like having a glass of whiskey in his office, but he's not really like standing up, like fabricating photos and stuff like that. So Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass here joined hordes of protesters Monday as they attempted to disrupt an ICE raid on a reported MS-13 hangout. Why is it none of these people are arrested? By federal agents, by the way. Why? And you know what? I know you're not gonna like what I'm about to say, but I'm just so tired of this shit. I don't give a fuck anymore. If these people that are part of ICE or these federal agents aren't going to start arresting these people who are inhibiting an investigation, I don't want to hear a fucking word out of anybody's mouth in the federal government. Oh, these people are out here protesting. They're blocking us from getting our job done. Because I grew up with the show Cops. My friends are cops. My family's cops. My dad was a cop. My grandfather was a cop. I've been around this. How many times have you seen where some dude's getting arrested and his cracked out wife or girlfriend or mama, daddy, baby, I don't know what the hell you call it, is walking up, be like, you can't touch him. And she's getting in the law enforcement's way of trying to get this guy arrested or do their job. And they go, if you keep doing it, you're going to go to jail. If you keep doing this, you're going to go to jail. Danielle says, and I was waiting for Danielle, I was specifically looking for that name, says, because the logical people charged aren't doing anything about it. Exactly. Exactly. Which is why you're going to continue to see this happening. Because as we've always said, when you're lax on consequences, whatever you're lax on in terms of the action that shouldn't have a lax consequence attributed to it, you're going to get more of that specific action. Which is why you're going to continue to see more of this, is because these idiot adults on the Republican side, by the way, don't want to do anything about it. Now, local law enforcement, I'm being told that Karen Bass here, this nut job, is telling people, specifically the LAPD, to not do anything. So if you're a federal law enforcement and you're not going to arrest these people for putting their hands on you, touching you in any manner, I don't give a shit what it is, putting a finger on you, and you're not arresting them, I don't want to hear shit from you. And that might not be fair because it's not necessarily up to them, it's up to their higher ups, but you get what I'm talking about. Whoever's telling them not to do it. Well, accompanied by agents on horseback and a Department of Homeland Security helicopter flying overhead, the coordinated raid was aimed at detaining MS-13 members. Isn't it insane? You're living in a time where Democrats are willing to obstruct federal law enforcement agents to get rid of the most violent gang on this earth that we live on. One of the most violent gangs, and they are stopping it from happening. It's insane to me. And you want to know the issue? There's many. We are so sheltered here from YouTube or on TikTok or on the news media, is you don't see the atrocities that happen you just hear it. Oh, there's these gang members out there, these MS-13 members. You just hear about it. You don't see them cutting people's heads off. You don't see them skinning people alive. You don't see them using them as target practice as you tie them up to a freaking flagpole and have them hanging there, swaying in the wind and using them as target practice. You don't see that footage because you're sheltered from it. You don't see these people using a freaking drill bit and a saw to use somebody's head as a soup bowl. You don't see them cutting off people's fingers as torture and sending it to their family members. You don't see them cutting off people's heads and sending it to people's families. You don't see them cutting off people's genitals. You don't see all that stuff because you're sheltered. Not you guys specifically, but the American people are sheltered. So they just hear about these. Well, MS-13 is primarily Mexican. You don't hear about these gang members and you don't see really any footage of them ever, do you? Whenever this is talked about, you don't see the B-roll. There's hundreds of people that watch this show. We get about 1,000 to 2,000 people watching this show every day. Any one of you seen on MSN, any of the legacy media, anybody, seen MS-13 gang members doing these violent crimes to people. I don't. So when people see this, they just go, "Oh, it's a Maryland man." I saw what he looked. They're thinking that Maryland man in the nice button-up shirt, right, with the baseball cap on, looks like an average guy, average Mexican dude, or Hispanic or whatever that we would see in California all the time. Yeah, I see that guy at Walmart or Target or wherever all the time. That's how they envision MS-13, not these guys that are drug dealing, sex trafficking minors, raping them, all this stuff. You don't see any of that footage. Maybe we should start showing that stuff so we can wake people up, because believe it or not, a lot of people are idiots on both sides. Immediately following the agent's operation, Bass arrived at the park and attempted to speak to ICE officers. Like, what are you going to do about it, lady? This is somebody whose ego is so high. It's like, nobody likes you. Your own people don't even like you. You're just there because nobody else will maybe even do the job. Responding to a reporter, Bass said they need to leave, and they need to leave right now because this is unacceptable. And I believe we have a clip here of that. Well, let me find it. I guess we don't. So let me get that Karen Bass clip for you. I could probably find it really quick. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this clip in real time. Let me see if this was it. That was not it. Yeah, okay, here it is. I got it for you guys. This is a little bit of a different view, but it works still.
Mayor Bass, can you at least explain your purpose to being here?
What are they really doing inside the park?
Oh, I like him. Hey, I take back what I said to your boys over there, all right? This is for you.
So there's that clip. There's another one here. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, right here. It's the one I was looking for. The different angle.
So I am going to say.
Mayor Bass, I need to get my phone and we're departing.
Okay. All right. Aaron Bass.
Mayor Bass.
Any comment, Mayor Bass?
Thank you.
Mayor Bass, any comment?
Yes, my comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now. They need to leave because this is unacceptable.
Who did you speak
Just
with?
wait and see.
Mayor Bass,
They will be leaving soon.
Mayor Bass, who did you speak with on the phone just now? Who did you speak with on the phone?
The head of customs.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to do the best impersonation of Karen Bass. Where is it at? You need to leave right now. You need to leave. It's pretty good, huh? Who talks like that? You need to leave right now. You need to leave. I'm telling you, these people are not normal people, you guys. That's not. Who the fuck do you know that talks like that? You need to leave. You need to leave right now. Why don't you just say, hey, yeah, these people need to go? Or say how other people talk, normal people go, yeah, these people need to get the fuck out of here. Like, that's how normal people, nobody acts like this, like the Greta Thunbergs. You're gonna kill us. The world's gonna end. Screw you. Fuck you, politicians. They're gonna kill all of us. Yeah, Pelosi comes to mind. I mean, it's like, it's not, these people are not, they're not like us, you guys. Bunch of whack jobs up there in freaking DC, man. All right, let's see what else we have for all of you. Let's see what else. We got a lot of wacky and wild news. Let's kind of cleanse our palate a little bit. Let's do something a little bit different here. I always talk about, I used to do stories like this and it kind of strayed away from politics, and it kind of had to do with culture a little bit. So let's kind of dabble in this a little bit. Let's kind of rough the feathers up. Carnival Cruise Line. Now, I recently got into cruising. For those that are longtime Ball Bradshaw viewers, it was about probably 3 years ago. 3 years ago was when I'd taken my first vacation in almost a decade. So 3 years ago, I had not taken a vacation. in like a decade. And now we try to do something every single year. And yeah, that's a real thing. I love to work. I love what I do. I don't need a vacation. So I get seasick relatively easy. And people are like, well, you'll be fine on a ship. I get seasick really easily. So I was always worried about going on a ship, so I never did. My mom gets seasick very easily as well. My dad never did. Well, I finally went on one 3 years ago, 3 years ago, and it was great. It was fine. Well, there was certain cruise ships that might be on your screen right now that would be bumping music next to our ship, or what seemed to be like a party ship of what I don't want to ever be a part of, because that's not my personality. I am not a rager. I'm not a clubber. I am, let me hang out with the old people. That's how I am. Let me find the retired ship of 55 plus. If I could find a 65 plus housing unit, like the elderly folks home area. What's those areas called? Where you senior citizens area? Yeah, let me live in one of those places. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. I remember years ago, me and my wife looked at there was a new housing tract that was being built. We're like, oh, this looks cool. Let's just go walk in and kind of see, be nosy people, right? We're all like that. Don't you judge me. You're all like that. Like, oh, let's see what this like open houses, right? You want to go see what the house looks like. You never afford it, but you walk in there anyways. And so we're walking around and we loved it. It was great. Like it was awesome. Like, not like we were going to put anything down, but the lady, when we walked back into the main office area, she goes, oh, like, what'd you think of it? And we're like, oh, we love it. It's great. We would love to live here. She goes, yeah, it's 55 plus. You wouldn't be able to. And I looked at her. I said, oh, that's cool. I go, that's our personality, though. We're not partiers. We're not any of that sort. We're not ever bumping music. We're mostly just reading books and quiet people. So that's what I'm all about. Carnival Cruise Line is not like that. And so they updated their rules, because if anybody knows Carnival Cruise Line, it's the Walmart of the seas. It's the ghetto ship of the seas. And because there's this stereotype of Carnival Cruise Line where you got a bunch of black people on there acting amok, that people think that these rule changes are racist. Now, I'm just giving you what is said and the stereotype. It doesn't mean that I believe in it, but it's something I have seen before. You guys, with any stereotype, there's always a shred of truth to it. And it always blows my mind that when you start calling out the obvious stereotypes that we see, because there's always a shred of truth to it, people say you're racist, you're discriminating against somebody. But it's okay when you say white liberal women are the ones that are crazy. That it's always fine when it comes to like saying any sort of negative shit about white people. But anytime you say something remotely negative about any other ethnicity, it's racist. But it's funny because the moment somebody cuts you off or is going 20 miles an hour on the roadway when it's a 50-mile-an-hour street, all of us go around them. And then what do we do? What do we do the moment you are passing by that car? You have an image in your mind of who's driving. All of you do this. And I don't give a flying fuck who it is. Even the people that are calling you racist are the ones that do it too. Everybody does it. You have an image in your mind of who's driving. You have an image, and there's only going to be two. It's either going to be an elderly person, like 80 plus, just sitting at the wheel like this, or it's going to be a female Asian. Everybody thinks it. Everybody does it. And most people think it's that, and that's why a lot of comedians talk about it, because it's a stereotype. Let's just pretend I'll give you an example right now. If I said there was somebody that was twerking and having their cheeks clap on top of somebody's hood of their car, what race do you think a lot of people would probably choose? White, black, Hispanic, or Asian? I'm just going to limit to 4, A, B, C, D. Which do you think? White, black, Asian, or Hispanic? If I said somebody's on the hood of somebody's car, I didn't even tell you anything about it, and they were twerking and clapping them cheeks like this, and you could hear it. That booty. It looks like this. They were clapping them cheeks. Let's see if I can get it. Like that. With the booty. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Carnival Cruise Line is responding to backlash over their recent policy changes, specifically addressing new rules regarding music and behavior, which many social media users have dubbed racist. Unfortunately, certain media outlets have blown this matter out of proportion. This comes from the public relations at Carnival Cruise Line. We have always had a wide variety of entertainment options, and for the last several years, we have communicated our expectations about guest behavior. So Beth says, I don't know what a twerk is, so I'm going to pass on this question. Well, Big Weave have it, and so does Karen. Black booties. Yeah, black people. Now, again, people go, well, that's racist. Well, it's not racist. It's just that's what comes to your mind because that's what you tend to see from those people. For example, I'll give you another one. It's so easy to come up with these stereotypes. There is a woman screaming in your face that you're a Trump supporter. Okay? There's a woman screaming in your face that you're a Trump supporter and you don't belong here. Here we go. Black woman, white woman, Asian woman, or Hispanic woman. Here's another one. I'm going to do all races then. We'll do all the races just so that we're not discriminating. If you said a white woman, you would be correct. They're called Karens. Absolutely. It's a stereotype. And let's do the last one. I mean, this one's a shoo-in. You're out there, and there's a bunch of ICE agents apprehending an illegal alien. And you have this person screaming at the ICE agents. If you had to guess, who would probably be out there protesting? A black person? Hispanic/Mexican? White or Asian? Yes, Hispanic/Mexican. You are correct. And Josh has it correct. It's a culture issue. Exactly. It has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with culture. You want to know why it's a culture issue? Is because there's a bunch of ghetto-ass white people that do the same shit. Isn't it funny how you rarely ever see Asian people doing this crap? Like they do. Don't get me wrong. They're out there. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. They're there. You got to really look for them. But it's mostly black people. And then I would say Hispanics and white. There are actually not too many Hispanics that go on cruise lines, believe it or not. It's an odd thing. I don't know why. They are there. I'm just saying there's not like a ton of them. The rules include a stricter drug policy. For example, marijuana, including cannabis and its derivatives, and other illegal substances are unlawful and strictly prohibited on board. Man, it sounds like a really family-friendly ship. A letter noting all the rules say smoking of any kind in undesignated areas, such as staterooms and balconies, is strictly prohibited. This is why I don't go on any other cruise ships other than Disney. Because Disney doesn't put up with this shit. And by the way, if you've never been on a Disney cruise and you like entertainment, I'm as serious as a heart attack. I will not go on any other cruise ship ever again. If my wife says, I want to go, let's go on a cruise, I am not doing anything other than Disney. Disney is the peak. of entertainment. And if you think, well, Brad, I don't want to be around kids. I don't want to be, it's chaos. I'm on vacation. I want to relax. I don't want to see these Disney characters running around, prancing down the halls. It's not like that. You have this image in your mind of what you think it's like. It's not like that. You have to seek out the characters. You have to specifically go and walk to a specific area of a giant freaking ship and find them for a photo op. They are not walking around the ship aimlessly. You have to literally go seek it out. The children, they have these areas that are like on deck 3 of the ship that are, if you were a kid, you would never hang out with your parents. It's that cool. It's themed, Star Wars theme. You're flying drones. You have no idea. See, as a kid, we were given a paddle with a string and a ball at the end, and we were told to just bang it back and forth for hours on end. Do you know what I mean? And your brain's melting. That's what we got as kids. Or you're on a 5-hour family vacation and you got to drive there and it's raining and you're trying to see which raindrop is going to beat the other one. All of you know what I'm talking about because we're all of an older audience. There's no 18 to 20-year-olds in here. We had to watch the window and you had this range. And you're like, oh, but you're voting for this one. And you're just waiting for just the right bump in the road to give you the little extra oomph. You know what I'm talking about? Where was I? Guests under the age of 17 must stay out of public areas after 1 a.m. This blew my mind. 1 a.m. Age 17, under age 7, go to bed. The new rules also say that certain handheld fans are also prohibited due to a loud clack sound. These fans are used as part of a viral dance trend, but now Carnival says for the safety and comfort of other guests, they're no longer allowed. So, you know, I need to do this more. I need to start showing more clips of things. Because then I'm playing into the same hand as what everybody else does. When we say MS-13, well, you're not showing us what it's like. So here's an example. Here's a Carnival Cruise Line. This was only like 3 months ago. Where, well, it'll speak for itself. Here we go. This is picking up your baggage at a Carnival Cruise Line. Isn't this lovely? Or you're onboarding, but it looks like they're getting off. And for those on audio, it's a giant brawl of black people fighting each other. And I'm almost positive this is when they're getting off because it looks like they're picking up their luggage and it's in certain areas. That's what you're going to get at Carnival. Oh, I'm not done. Let me find more. Let me find more. Because it is known this is happening.
Once again, Carnival Conference, welcome aboard. Don't forget our rep.
Now, I'm not against people having fun. You know, some people, this is their vacation. Like, she's having a good time. She's going back and forth. It's not everybody. But this is relatively calm, but this is a real thing. And again, it's not that I don't want people to have fun, but I think that you got to keep yourself in check and make sure that you're not ruining the experience of other people who are also on vacation. But because we have this crazy ass culture now where people act silly, and I'll give you another example. I hate to say it, but it's not a vacation to me watching people doing backflips where I'm trying to walk. I don't know. So anyways, people are calling it racist. It's terrible. You're targeting black people again. And we're all tired of it. I'm fatigued, man. It's just like everything you do that impacts black people or minorities in any way, shape, or form is just deemed racist. And it's exhausting, man. It is literally exhausting. Let's see here. Speaking of that, here we go. That kind of segues me perfectly into this. TikTok users try to make Texas floods all about race. Let me take a moment. I really do mean it. It is exhausting. Just everything is about race. Everything. I think there's a clip here, isn't there? No? All right, I'll see if I can find it for you. While the nation mourns the devastating floods that basically wreaked havoc on Texas, some are taking to TikTok to use their disaster as a jumping off point for shocking racial commentary. Sadie Perkins, a former member of the House Flood Insecurity Board, posted a TikTok video about a double standard. So let's see if I could find that for you. Rather than reading her quote, let's see if I could find that clip. I don't know what it looks like. Sometimes I know kind of an idea of it, but here we go. I think this is it.
Down, I guess I'll just chit chat in a video. I mean, I don't understand all this, extraordinary hate or whatever. Like, I get that white people are not used to people telling them and calling them out on their racism and telling them about their double standards and how you wouldn't give a damn about other children and how there's children in ICE detention right now who y'all don't give two fucks about. There's no prayers going up for them, but we're supposed to stop the world and stop everything we're doing to go and hunt for these little missing white girls. Again, I actually have empathy, so I can put myself in other people's shoes and understand that that's pretty fucked up. But it seems like y'all don't get that. Y'all don't get that. Y'all don't have the empathy gene, for sure. It's very much lacking. And I mean, for y'all to just be on here, just straight up racism. Every comment, I wouldn't say every comment. I will say 99.9% of the comments have just been, EBT this and welfare that and you're a monkey and yada, yada, yada. Like, y'all haven't.
I'm not surprised that she gets those comments, and that's absolutely terrible. 100% guaranteed she gets those types of comments. People do in the comment section. And remember how I said people write the wildest crap? I don't like that stuff. Matter of fact, I have a filter on my TikTok now. So there's thousands of comments in some cases that don't ever show up on TikTok because I have it set as a filter because it is unhinged, man. And also I was being attacked by bots pretty badly the other week, and that's helped out tremendously. But I feel, it doesn't surprise me she gets a bunch of racist stuff, and I'm not in support of that crap.
It's been like 100 years. Y'all haven't come up with nothing new other than the monkey shit, and like y'all don't have nothing new. And when a black person isn't poor, and when they don't fit your stereotype of, EBT and whatnot, you're still gonna use it, and it's whack. Like, it makes no sense because it doesn't apply, babes. It doesn't apply. And with groceries being so fucking high right now, I am positive most of y'all are either on it or you need it. So y'all can quit faking the funk. Y'all can quit faking the funk, babes. And since I have two grown boys who just graduated high school and they're about to go off to college or whatever, our refrigerator is like damn near empty. And it's like, thank God, it's almost like I got a raise because these two grown children were eating all of our fucking food out of a house and home, but whatever. But since I get EBT and y'all are paying for it, I appreciate you.
Does she really get it? Is she being sarcastic there, or does she actually get EBT? I couldn't tell. And I'm actually being sincere here. I'm not like trying to play into a spoof or a joke, because she was saying how there's people in the comment section being racist that she was on EBTs, and she was making the point like, well, there's also other people that are on EBTs that are white, which is totally true, by the way. But yet there's a stereotype that is black people just on EBTs. But then she said that she was on an EBT, but I don't know if she actually was or wasn't.
Yeah. I appreciate my little 15 minutes of fame. Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all gave me a bunch of followers. Y'all spammed all of my other social medias except my Red Note. Go to Red Note. Go to Red Note. Give me some comments on fucking Red Note. I'd appreciate that.
So there's that. Let me see. I think there's another one where I don't know if it got taken down. Let me see what this is all about.
There's people in it.
They don't even have a token.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites-only girls' Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all-white, white-only, conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in, you ain't going, period. And I think that context needs to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever right now, but you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, it should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a fuck. And all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported, they shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yada, yada, yada. So before y'all come at me, before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't know no better, da, 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 da. The parents of these children who are choosing, and it is a choice in 2025, it is definitely a freaking choice to go into East goddamn Texas and to make a all-white enclave, exclusionary just for white people, with all the black people in East Texas, with all the Hispanic people in East Texas. Somehow, some way, you have carved out an all-white, whites-only enclave in East Texas for your white children. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. Once again, this is no shade to the girls. I hope they all get found. But once again, y'all have to understand the climate that we're living in. They want you to have sympathy for these people. They want you to get out of your bed and to come out of your home and to go find these people and to donate your money to go find these people. Meanwhile, they are deporting your family members. Meanwhile, they're setting up concentration camps and prisons for your family members. And I need y'all to keep that in mind before y'all get out there and put on your rain boots and go find these little girls.
Whoa. Okay. Holy shit. Yo, fuck. I don't even know where to start. Well, she didn't do her research. I guess we'll start with that one. So we'll go to this really quick here. Weird. Camp Mystic staff seems to be pretty beautiful girls, by the way. I don't know. We might have another one here. Oh, that's weird. Oh boy, I don't understand. I mean, I do get it, why it's so easy to push race, because I've always said it. It's so easy to blame other people for your flaws or for why there's some sort of negative thing happening to you. That's like, it's so easy that it's some other guy why I failed. It's not my fault. It's just some other person's problem as to why I failed. If that is so prevalent in today's society, it's insane to me. And I'm always going to say this because I don't want anybody ever to try and clip me and say that I'm racist or that I discriminate, I'm going to be as clear as I can be. And I've always said this. I don't give a flying fuck what race you are. I don't care. I legitimately don't care. Miriam says, I'm going to Miriam because Miriam's black. At least I'm honest about it. Brad, black women in general have an unhinged demonic obsession of envy and jealousy towards white women. It's very bizarre. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. Weird. Here's another one. It's almost as if that lady didn't do her research. I like the Lilo and Stitch thing. Oh, whoa, oh, God, how's he on there? Kidding. Of course. Our beloved JC went to be with the Lord. Oh, that's terrible. And peacefully this morning, what a legacy he leaves behind. So it's almost as if he left a legacy at Camp Mystic, as if he's been there forever. So giving me Bubba Gump vibes. It's exactly how Bubba Gump looked, right? Because he was known for like, right? There's that cliche of when he was in Forrest Gump. That's how his mouth was. Bubba, right? When he's dying, he's like, "Oh, Bubba, tell Mama I love her." You guys know what I'm talking about. Do I need to pull up the clip of Bubba passing away? The mouth was exactly like this. The teeth showing. I think you guys get it. Well, that was wild. That was a wild story. All right, let's go to another article here. Let's see what we have here. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. I kind of like going things that are outside of the political realm because it's kind of fun. It's easy to blame something you can't control for something you have control over. Yep, exactly. It's I think I might see, I don't know. This is me in my own little world. I don't know if I might see it more than the average person because I'm in education. And we as teachers, when I say that we get blamed for everything, it's almost everything. I mean, from somebody even misbehaving in the classroom or doing something outside the classroom, they will say, well, the teacher was doing this. I can't put in the words how much we get blamed for their bad grades, to their bad behavior, to why they're absent, to why they're stressed out and need to go to the counseling office for mental health. When I say we get blamed for legitimately everything, I think I might mean that to the full extent. Like why somebody didn't take their diabetes medication or didn't check their blood sugar. It's the teacher's fault. Like some cases it is, right? Like teacher didn't let you check your thing, which that's like extremely rare, but you understand what I mean. So it just, because I'm always somebody's fault. It's, yeah, exactly. Teachers get blamed for bad parenting. Yep. Matter of fact, let me go to this. That brings me to the next point. Thank you so much. There was a clip here and I want to see if I can find it in real time. Top set over kids out. Wait, let me see if I can find this. There was this video of this police officer that was telling parents to keep your kids, or at least have your kids under control, because we're tired of press conference, because we're tired of them in the streets acting amok in the hundreds. I don't think I'll be able to find it. It was a recent clip. It went viral, but basically a bunch of teachers were commenting in the comment section because they're shouting, we've been saying this for years, that your bad parenting is being pushed off on us, and then you're blaming us for why your kids are misbehaving, when the blame should be put on you for not doing your damn job because you couldn't keep your legs closed and you don't know how to raise kids. So now it's my fault. Gotcha. I'm trying to see what else we can cover here. We might end it here. Let's see. See if there's anything breaking right now. Oh, you guys like this one. Let's end off on a good note here. I like this. Now, people keep thinking Donald Trump's, owned by the Israelis or whatever, but Benjamin Netanyahu formally puts Trump's name in the hat, in the ring, to win the Nobel Peace Prize. So we'll kind of look at that clip here, which is great for Trump. Now let's hope that we still continue to have peace, but this is well-deserved.
He's already realized great opportunities. He forged the Abraham Accords. He's forging peace as we speak, in one country, in one region after the other. So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well-deserved, and you should get it.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know. Wow. Thank you very much. Coming from you in particular, this is very meaningful. Thank you very much, baby.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
The President is already...
Yeah, well, you should be thanking him. And I'm not trying to be a jerk when I say that. I mean, there is a case to be made. Now, it's purely hypothetical, that I'll be fair in saying, is that, Trump might have just saved Israel's entire society, entire group of people, the Jews, because if Iran got a nuclear warhead there, they give it to a terrorist, the terrorist, takes it into Israel and kaboom, blows that to smithereens. So I think Betts makes a really good point here. Brad, one of the things that makes me nuts about that woman that we just listened to is she has money for her hair. She has money for her nails. She has money for so many other things except food. But you can't say that, Betts, because then we're racist. Because you're saying that about a black person. See, we can't say it. If you said it about a white person, Betts, then it would be okay. But you can't say it about anybody other than black, because if you do, or white, then you're racist. So if you say it about a black person, Asian, Hispanic, you're racist. Because, Betts, you're white. You can't do that. Even though it's true, because that applies to no matter who you are, right? If you're white, black, Hispanic, you're getting your hair done, your nails are done, right? You have, $6,000 couches in your your apartment or whatever it is. Yeah. There is legitimately people that eat better and live in nicer housing or apartments than I do that don't work, which is insane to me. Now, it's you can make the case, well, Brad, you choose that because you choose to live cheap. You can afford a bunch of food. 100% true. 100% true. But still wild. Still wild. Well, Brad, then why'd you say it? I don't know. I call myself out. Yeah, you gotta be able to call yourself out. All righty, let's see if there's any breaking news. If not, we're gonna end it here. TSA ends 23-year shoot. Whoa, here we go. Oh God, thank you. Tired of smelling people's stinky feet, guys. This affects all of us. Listen up. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Get in here. Get in here. Breaking news 18 minutes ago. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, has ended its 23-year policy requiring passengers to remove their shoes during airport security screenings. Effective July 8th today. This change aims to improve the efficiency of security checks, although passengers triggering alarms will be sent to remove their shoes. The policy shift has been widely welcomed, with many criticizing the former rule as security theater with little actual security benefit. Reports from travelers at various airports confirm the immediate implementation of the new rule, with some confusion among passengers accustomed to the old procedure. Now, could somebody slip something in their shoes and do something nefarious? Absolutely, but we all been there. We all been there. Taking off the shoes. It was weird when I had to go through TSA when I was in Florida recently. They were like, you know, you had to take out your electronics. And I didn't think, like, I have a Kindle because I read. Shocker. And it got kicked out, and it was like, oh, you didn't take out all your electronics. And I'm like, electronic? Sorry, it wasn't even a Kindle. It was a Kindle Paperwhite, meaning it wasn't even an actual like iPad. It was just something you read like a book on. And I guess they literally meant electronics. I'm like, all right. I figured like a laptop or like a huge iPad, like something big like that, but a small, you know, it's super. I mean, I mean this in all seriousness. My cell phone is actually thicker than my Paperwhite. I don't know what you could slip in there, but whatever. Let's see what else is new here. There's nothing really, unless I'm missing something. I'll go to Fox real quick. Almost didn't have the show today while I'm looking this up. I was like exhausted when I woke up today. I was like, maybe they'll be cool with me doing a later show. But then I was like, how do I get the news out to you guys? You know what I mean? How do I tell everybody? Yeah, we do have Dark MAGA tonight, 4 p.m. Absolutely. It's like, how do I get the news out to everybody that I'm gonna be sleeping? But I was like, we got to wake up. There's people who want the news. Alrighty, yeah, we'll end it there. There's nothing really going on. There's a bunch of Mamdani stuff, which I think we'll cover during Dark MAGA. So we will have Dark MAGA. Let me double check something and just confirm that I think we'll have our hours met today, meaning that you'll be able to join us hopefully Thursday. So if I stream for a little over an hour today, we'll have all our hours in and we'll be able to open up Dark MAGA to everybody, which is absolutely dope. So, Nick, what are you telling me? What kind of nonsense are you telling me in the chat? Hold on one second. California Assembly trying to ban Glock sales. That's breaking. Like what? Let me see that real quick. CA to block Glock. So let's see. We might have some news here. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. California gun control bill that could ban popular Glock pistol sales moves forward. What? I like Glock. A bill that could ban the sale of the most popular handgun in the United States is potentially on its way to becoming law. How is this even? I don't even know. How is this? I don't know how this is even constitutional. Becoming law after it passed through the California State Assembly on Tuesday. The bill, also referred to as many people as the Glock ban bill, was authorized by Jesse Gabriel, a Democrat, of course, and would prohibit licensed firearms dealers from selling guns that could be easily converted by hand or with common household tools into a machine gun. It's too early. It's too early. It's too early to be losing my shit. Although the Glock isn't specifically mentioned in the written legislation, it falls into the category of firearms. I am pleased to be presenting AB 1127, which will protect communities from mass shootings and gun violence by encouraging gun manufacturers to prevent the conversion of their firearms to dangerous automatic weapons. Oh my God. I really question if this Gabriel guy has ever shot a firearm. This nonsense that you pulling the trigger for semi-automatic, which is what virtually majority of firearms are, especially nowadays, is fast. Like you could pull that trigger extremely fast, where I would go as far to say it's not going to be that much of a big difference between automatic and semi-automatic when you have a magazine of 9, 11 rounds or whatever. Automatic weapons, I think a Glock holds 9 altogether, depending on what you have. I don't have an extended mag. Automatic weapons are exceptionally lethal and capable of firing hundreds of rounds per minute. They are illegal in California. Unfortunately, some semi-automatic firearms feature a dangerous design flaw that allows them to be converted into fully automatic weapons. Yeah, but again, this is not... If you're a law-abiding citizen and you're a firearm owner, that doesn't mean that you're the one that's converting your firearm to an automatic weapon. And by the way, what do you where's the limit on this, by the way? The Glock is infamous for its easy alteration capabilities. The Glock switch in 2022, converted Glock, was reportedly used in a mass shooting that occurred just blocks from the California state capitol. So because you saw it once in your life, it's all of a sudden a major issue. When there's millions of Glocks out there and you don't ever hear stories about Glocks being utilized in many mass shootings. And by the way, you would expect it to be because it's such a popular firearm, and I think that the thing's a workhorse. The common sense legislation will ensure that the gun industry is held accountable and that we are doing everything we possibly can to protect our communities from mass shootings. No, you're not, because all you're going to be doing is taking a firearm away from those that feel comfortable using a Glock or any such other firearm to protect themselves and their family from a mass shooter. So it's going to be okay for the mass shooter to have a firearm and basically delete everybody else in the area, but there's not going to be anybody around to actually protect the people against that mass shooter. No, that's genius thinking. Really genius thinking. Love it. Like that guy, literally, was it last week, 2 weeks ago, there was a mass shooting that was averted at a church because the security guard that had a firearm, by the way, deleted the guy before it could ever happen. So a guy came in and hit him with his truck, and then the security guard came up and blasted that fool, and he's dead. Why? Because a good guy with a gun defeated a bad guy with a gun. It's amazing how that worked out. And by the way, you could have had both have full automatic, in theory, and they both, one guy lost, and that was the bad guy. I'm so tired of California, dude. I'm so tired of California. Anyways, that's only going to piss me off. Well, we will end it. We will end it there. I'm gonna have another cup of coffee and chill. Thank you for the news and entertainment this morning, Brad. Sir, appreciate it. Sea-Dog, it's always good seeing you, brother. Of course, California. It's always California. I just don't. I just don't. I don't know if this is like it's always chiseling away. I've always said this. They're never going to remove your rights in one fell swoop. It's going to be chiseling away at your rights over time to the point where you're not going to have any rights. And this is what they're doing. It will start with the Glock, right? And then it'll move into the AR-15, right? The most popular firearm. And then it'll move into the next one. And then sooner or later, over time, maybe not in our lifetime, but over time, you can really only use a musket. So your government goes usurpacious on you. You have fun using a musket against, those boys have fully automatic firearms, but we don't. And by the way, I'm a hardcore Second Amendment advocate. My friends love firearms, as do I. I am probably more hardcore Second Amendment than a lot of my friends. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I've been asked before, do you think somebody should be able to have a RPG? Yep. Do you think somebody should be able to have a F-22 Raptor? Yep. If you can afford it. That's how hardcore Second Amendment I am. I think people should have fully automatic firearms. I don't think there should be a limit. Now, when you get a nuclear warhead, a little bit of a different story, but that could be hypocritical. Oh, well, I thought everybody could have whatever they want. They could afford it. Yeah, but let's not be stupid. We all know that there's an extent to where if you could delete millions of people with one button, probably an issue. But other than that, all right. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Folks, we'll be back here at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Dark MAGA. Be there, be square. Appreciate you.